All right, Coach, third quarter of the season already, 7 games in. Just talk about some of the challenges you guys had to go through, but here you are, 7 games in a good spot where you want to be.
Yeah, we've been through some challenges. We've been through some ups and downs, some tough places to play, some injuries. The biggest thing we've had, not a consistent lineup, but it's made us stronger. And I always say that the resiliency you put your body through and your mind through is going to make it better for you the rest of the way. And hopefully, we're going to start reaping some of the benefits of the depth we've created.
As you go through this season and you've kind of figured out who can do what and which guys you can depend on, have you been able to kind of decipher what this team is made of through those first 6 games?
Yeah, I would say I know a lot more now than previous. I think there's still things that are unanswered about this team. But as we go through this process, this journey, you find out. And we found that there's a considerable amount of toughness and resiliency within this group. A lot of pride, like they care a lot.
Were you, I won't say a sense of just the pride, but also proud of the way your team came out last week? There were a lot of conversations around that ball game and the physicality of it, but your team answered the bell. How proud of you were your guys in that game?
Yeah, I was super proud. They earned it. It's hard to put a kind of pinpoint exactly why it was like it was and why it wasn't, but I don't think you can pick and choose timelines or force timelines. That's something that just has to happen.
How great was it to see the guys around Carson play well? We've talked about it before. Obviously, you want Carson to play well and be that guy, but the guys around him have to contribute to it as well. You see a lot of guys making plays for him last week. What was it like to see those guys kind of step forward and be the centerpiece for him?
Yeah, it's awesome. I think it meant a lot to them to help Carson. And then from an offensive line standpoint, the ability to run and throw, protect and run the ball was a huge difference in the game.
All right, Coach, we jump into the game this week. Obviously, you got a game in Vanderbilt on the road again, only second time on the road here in 7 games. But the time difference from last week playing at night, this week you're playing at 11 o'clock their time. Just how do you get your team prepared if you have to for a game like that?
Yeah, it's harder. We think about it. We talk about it all week. We always say we're going to address the threats. We're going to say what they are. And if you talk about them and don't let them become threats, then you control the controllables and you go out and play. So we'll get our guys up early Thursday, Friday to get them kind of in a rhythm of getting up early so that Saturday becomes normal to them and get up and go play.
What's the thing that when you look at this Vanderbilt team that kind of says, all right, we got to make sure we're on our P's and Q's about this on both sides of the ball?
Well, they have good players. They have really good skill players, in particular wide receiver. They've recruited really good speed and talent. They've got a quarterback that's mobile, that's able to get it to them. Defensively, we don't know who's going to play. They've been through so many injuries. They've got 3 to 4 guys that have been in and out in the secondary. So we'll have to play our brand of football and be physical and block and execute against the guys that are out there.
The third phase of the game is always pretty important, can win or lose you a ball game. But you got a freshman over there that's playing really good. Freshman of the week, Woodring's done a good job for you. How have you been? How you assess his play throughout 6 games?
It was up and down early, but I think he's gained more confidence. I think he's understood that this is different than high school and that I got to go through my process and my mental check marks. And when he does that, he's really consistent.
What are the things you want to see from your defense get better? Obviously, there are a lot of things that you have stressed about getting the ball out. You want to create turnovers, want to get sacks, want to get pressure on the quarterback. What are things that you want to see more out of that unit?
I'd like to see us tackle better and run to the ball, but I think when you run to the ball well, you get the turnovers. Okay, and obviously I'd love to say get the turnovers, but we're not going to get that until we get 2 and 3 hats to the ball, and that's the goal, is to get more guys pursuing it.
Now, I know if you have to get motivated for a game like this, then you're probably not made of the right stuff, but when you play in this environment, everybody knows that sometimes you got to bring your own juice. How do you, get guys ready to go for an environment like this that's going to be totally different from the last time you were on the road at Auburn?
Yeah, you tell them that. You tell them right away that, look, you're going to be responsible for your own enthusiasm. Then you go to the staff and say, hey, staff, this is the game that we need you to bring juice, because if a player doesn't have it, we need to help them get it, because you can't rely on just the crowd and the fan base.
What's it going to take to get a W this weekend?
Well, we're going to have to play physical, play fast early, don't turn it over, and just out-execute these guys.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Thank you.